something that can peel back, it feels like, to be able to answer what they're anticipating is going to come out from CLG.
Absolutely. Of course, we already knew it was answer. The question was, can CLG run the same comp 3 games in a row? Obviously, Gallia was banned. The Lee Sin grab doesn't completely preclude Vi, and they might leave it up as a flex for a while and grab support here and wait because, hey, maybe that's still a possibility down the line, and they really is a mid lane replacement. Like, what if he pulls up full Doinby and we get Malphite mid or something, you know?
You know, the other thing I was going to say is, I mean, that would be exciting, but there's also very different options that can reach backline in different ways, right? So when you think about, okay, you want to dive backline, all right, you're going to go Malphite or Kled or Galio, but you can also play, guess what, Xerath, Ziggs, champions that just stand way back, but they can still reach backline, right?
Yes.
Ziggs is actually very powerful right now. If you throw the Nautilus into the backline, you hit them with the point-and-click R, you drop the Ziggs bomb on their head, guess what? That's still challenging the backline, just in a different way. So I want to see if CLG has any of those looks prepared, or if they will just now default to, all right, it's Orianna, or it's Victor.
Yep. Yeah, like that would be a full turn for CLG if it's like, yep, it's Victor mid, and we're playing, I'm just going to say Darius, because he doesn't really do much more than hit frontline himself, like, you know, a Mordekaiser or something. It's like, yeah, we're just team fighting you now. Have fun. So Braum, Leona, both off the table, so not getting rid of all the Shepherds, but certainly Braum a very good defensive support. Leona would be more for the engage, but it means that they think Karma is likely to be mid. I mean, it's the 100th Thief special, right? Is Karma mid Xin Zhao jungle? That's how they got to or one of their wins, I should say, back in week 1. So they're holding that as a possibility that Yusui's taking that mid.
Yeah, I always like if you are flexible as the Dignitas side. When you see someone overcommit to support bans, right? They have 3 support bans, essentially. They ban Lulu, Lulu, Braum, as well as Leona. So then just allow Aphromoo to play the Karma, essentially throw those bans in the garbage, and pick for your solo lane, something else. Like, I always think that can be a really nice job, you know, as far as the draft change-ups do go.
Sett likely in the top lane, still can be flexible. Look at the 2-1-2 right now, assuming the Karma is going down there. Obviously, in a lot of cases, you say, okay, Ezreal Karma, usually pretty safe. People have to push pressure. If you're running Guardian and Exhaust, you're maybe not getting all in. Kalista maybe just turns the numbers enough that because she's so good early game, that even through Exhaust, even through Barrier, or Guardian, like, maybe there's just enough damage that Nautilus Kalista can threaten the all-in, and suddenly you can't quite play that 2-on-2 aggressive. Indeed, Alistar comes through instead. Karma is going to a solo after all. The support bans were well lined up, saying that the matchup wasn't going to look good on the Karma side, so it is still a solo lane flex, but we're going to have Dignitas lock that in shortly with their 5th and final pick.
Yeah, and finding out, is it mid, is it top? It is going to be mid Karma, pairing up with the Xin, as you called, along that 100 Thieves style. You have GP top. This does feel like, yes, you have some engage, but largely this composition wants to kite back. As your opponents go in, you drop the GP ulti, you use the Xin Zhao ultimate to try to really kind of break things up. You kite back with the Mantra Shield.
Ooh! You mentioned them.
Okay.
What are the possibilities?
One of the other possibilities. You know, I didn't call this one specifically, but there are other champions that can do similar things. It is not a one-to-one, but you have Sett top. That is one of the things that they played actually with their Galio composition. They're bringing in Lissandra. So CLG are saying, yes, it is not about the champion, it is about the style. And this is a very similar style. It is looking for those kicks in from Broxah. It is a powerful lockdown and setup with the mid-jungle 2v2. Sett to follow it up. You can throw Nautilus in. He can follow it up. So it's all about piling in the backline. Lissandra does similar things. You do have some of the AoE CC with the root on your W. Of course, targeted lockdown with the ultimate. You can also just kind of use zone control with the self ultimate, which is kind of similarly creating this zone of power that Galio can do. So there are kind of some similarities here. It's not exactly the same, but I am going to be so interested to see how this works out. You know, one of the reasons that I feel like Lissandra, though, in particular, has kind of fallen out of grace is a lot of people struggle to dominate with her laning phases. You know, a long time ago, they changed some of the mana costs for her. A lot of people want to go, you know, things like Proto Belt, which doesn't have a tremendous amount of mana in it. I'm going to be interested to see how he actually builds and how he sets up his runes to try to circumvent some of the mana issues that a lot of people do feel she has these days. Because if you can't get the push, you can't actually roam, and that can be one of the issues with Lissandra.
Absolutely the case. Top of my head, without looking at anything else, Tier is just a very good item. It's 400 gold for practically infinite mana. If you never go Archangels, it's still just a good item, and that can assuage your mana issues. Obviously, you're then not buying an Amp Tome or finishing an item, so we'll see how that goes in the line. But still like to see it. CLG on a 2-0 start to the week, taking out top teams with high win rates. Now up against Dignitas, looking for a 3-0 run. And though the Galley was banned, they did not pick up the Vi. They have brought in Lissandra. They have brought Lee Sin Jungle back, which nearly beat Cloud9 last week. CLG maybe on the resurgence, but we know every time fans get hope, like, it's not even for the meme value. It just keeps happening. CLG are so frequent to show signs of life and then stumble in the mid. On the Dignitas side, though, I'm wondering what's happening there because Yusui came in. I have not been convinced by the team since then, since week 2. And then as Dardoch got benched abruptly after Friday, Akaadian's not a bad player, but it seems like the team kind of lost some identity. Dignitas are, I think, on a 1-4 streak right now. It's a bit of a rough look for them. So CLG maybe can keep that positive momentum going. Dignitas are just on the way down.
Absolutely. I mean, there's clearly some turmoil on the Dignitas side, right? You know, it's most people, it's kind of the elephant in the room. You know, is it the attitude issues that have plagued Dardoch through a lot of his career? And when you get benched straight after a Friday game and it's literally announced as he is benched for the rest of the weekend, you really do kind of assume that there was some sort of issue or some sort of disagreement or blow up or whatever that caused that. So a bit of an abrupt change for Dig. They're obviously going to be looking to find some stability, reclaim some of the success that they were having in the earlier weeks, because with the Siligo and Dardoch lineup, they were looking strong, at least on stage. And CLG is looking to try to capitalize on what is a weaker Dignitas right now. We are into the Rift here. It's going to be the Corrupting Potion start. It's Electrocute as well for Pobelter. So we'll be interested to see if it's actually like Biscuits, Time Warp Tonic. You can go towards the Corrupting Potion start, base for things like an early Dark Seal, even grab another Doran's Ring, and just try to use the early itemization to kind of circumvent some of those mana issues. But CLG with a nice little level 1 here.
The hook, the pullback. FakeGod chooses not to burn. Why flash then? You had 7 minutes to flash. You waited till you died.
Yikes.
Bruh, come on.
That flash sucked. Oh my God. He could have just instant flashed over the wall, like straight up.
Yeah.
As soon as he got hooked.
Yeah, I know Lee Sin Q is on him, so he's like, oh, wait for the Lee Sin Q land.
Lee Sin doesn't kill you at level 1.
Exactly.
That's all his damage. Yes, you do get hooked here. I love the level 1 look, though. This is kind of an old school CLG throwback where they were doing a lot of level 1 plans. Really clever stuff here. Finn wrapping around, Smoothie, flash hook. Right now, you just need to flash. Yep. And even if Lee Sin hits you with the Q, we saw it very clearly, it wouldn't have actually gotten the kill. Multiple autos came in from other people even before the Q actually followed through. So you insta-flash. For them to kill you, they would then be looking to commit, you know, maybe even the Sett flash on top for an if they can kill, and then it's multiple flashes for one. This is the worst case scenario, though, because he wastes his flash, he dies anyway, and that is rough. But for all our Spanish-speaking friends, check out FlyQuest Spanish stream. They're doing their co-stream over at twitch.tv/FlyQuest. It has been awesome for the Spanish community. Thank you, FlyQuest.
Thank you very much. Shout out all the Jose Dioto fans, because I see you in Twitch chat every time. I see a lot of Spanish, and I'm like, cool. That's awesome. Keep supporting them. Sounds good. But it's not about them right now. It's about the fact that FakeGod is on his way out of this lane for now. Finn cannot quite get the second punch or the fourth punch, but FakeGod takes the W, hits him back with the grasp, and CLG off to a nice, solid 700 gold lead. Broxah, of course, didn't get the kill, so his jungle pathing isn't any faster. Chooses to skip chickens. Keep in mind, Lee Sin is very, very bad at chickens and Krugs to get the team out on Iron Spike Whip, so dodges the AoE camps, and he'll hope to finish red before Akaadian counter jungles.
Yeah, he does have Smite, so we'll see. Should be able to finish that off here, but it's actually going to be really close.
Oh, Smite comes in. I don't know who got it right now, though. It looks like it's Broxah, yes. So he's wearing the red buff, and Akaadian Q lands, but he has mid pressure. Without mid pressure, he couldn't have made that play, but because Yusui's there and not Pobelter in time, because he couldn't, that's an okay invade, just couldn't get the Smite.
Yeah, and one of the things we didn't really get much time to actually talk about is the fallout of this first blood on the top side, because it went to Finn, so he actually got the longsword plus an additional potion to start, which means you can sometimes really attack the mana. Broxah looking for a wraparound here.
Flash pull, they're going to safeguard in, the slows are in, absolutely no way out. Well played by CLG. Re-engage looks good, though. The dive on a WildTurtle flashes, but a couple more autos. Flash forward, auto, Q, lands, and now Smoothie doesn't have flash to get out either. Gonna get knocked back. Aphromoo doing a great job setting him up. Smoothie, oh, that was beautiful. The flash headbutt. Aphromoo gives Neo a double kill on a silver platter.
It's just too easy, dude. Aphromoo setting him up. And can you believe the double kill in the 2v2 for the Ezreal against the Kalista? This is supposed to be your dominant lane here, but look at them going in. And the problem here is all about target selection. Smoothie hooks onto Aphromoo. Great, it's an Alistar. And you can see Turtle stepping forward to hit the Alistar while the Ezreal is hitting the Kalista. And this is one of those things that you have got to be so careful about, because if the AD is free firing on your AD while you are hitting the support, it is always going to go bad for you.
Yep.
And bad went to worse as Aphro found the combo onto Turtle as he's getting hit by the Ezreal. You come out of that, you're exhausted. There's no ability to fight back. And that is just a poor engage from CLG, and expertly punished by Dignitas' side, because not only do they get that first kill, Aphro sees the angle for the flash, headbutts him back in, and sets it up. And now, I mean, look at the Ezreal's items. Kalista went back and got basically a longsword and some shoes, and you got tier Sheen.
Yeah.
This lane is over.
This is looking good for Neo. Well, I guess if you dodge every Mystic shot, or he hits minions, technically Sheen does no damage, but yeah, this lane is going to feel real
also,
as
if he goes AFK, you know?
Also, yeah, if he disconnects, if there's a remake, hey, you can wipe it all away, but what did we say? We're going to this one, CLG looking for the 3-0 week, and hey, it is still a close game. Keep in mind, the gold is plus 300, plus 400 for that squad. FakeGod, yeah, you know what, whatever. Fight him back maybe a little bit, take some damage. Maybe didn't need to take that damage, I don't know.
I like the TP though from Finn. It's an aggressive TP, but Broxah is on the top side, and look where the wave is, right? It actually denies the ability for FakeGod to fully reset the wave, and he's kind of stuck in this awkward position now. So Akaadian is going to get called up, but the danger here is we know Broxah is here, and you lose this 2v2 as Dignitas very likely. Akaadian though will face check. I don't think you want to take that Q in,
no,
but
he
he's
does.
going.
That trade on a FakeGod, he just popped the barrels as well, so that's looking pretty good. Akaadian at half HP. Broxah round 2, Q's up in a second. Preemptive flash by Akaadian, has to kind of go early, didn't want to get guessed wrong, and hey, flash down, and top is, it is going to go back now.
Yep. And while you might lose that 1v1 as the Lee Sin, you know, you called it. Finn actually won it on the trade, and he had the move, so that pushes Akaadian back. And, you know, on the minimap, I actually did see Pobelter making the move up towards top as well. So the 1v1 doesn't really matter when you've got the support of your solo lanes. They have the pressure, CLG making it happen, and oh, Yusui, you're about to face check level 6 Lissandra.
Ulted, Lee Sin Q lands, wait for the root, Q as late as possible, and an auto attack is enough. The second time in a row, a flash follow is not required. Dignitas dies post-flash anyway.
Yeah, Yusui, he walked out into fog there, but he had no vision, no eyes on where the Lissandra was. You knew that Lee Sin was playing on that top side of the map, so a bit of sloppy stuff there from the Dignitas side. Really good CC layering. The ultimate comes down from Pobelter. The Q is dropped there by Broxah. He's holding it just in case Yusui can early flash over the wall, but everything going really good for them. They're going to get the red off of this, and CLG is playing a nice proactive game.
Yes, they are. Lee Sin's looking good. Broxah's got his pickaxe that goes Iron Spike Whip or Tiamat. Probably Iron Spike, to be honest. But either way, that's going to help us clear as soon as that act is available to help knock down the camps in the AoE. Akaadian feeling reasonably safe, top side, going to get himself a Scuttle Crab. Oh, you know, feels good for jungler to get that extra money, gold, XP, and whatnot. There you go, plus 98. And just going to take the recall now as he keeps on moving forward. FakeGod just getting his farm. Top lane, despite the 0-2 start, one of them obviously pre-minions. Otherwise, it's been a couple of ganks. He's at least been farming pretty well. Obviously, the gold on Finn, though, going to be better since he's got those kills.
Yep, going to be better, and he's going to have those additional minions to pick up. But, I mean, if you can stabilize, he's got a Sheen. He actually even picked up a call, so he's getting even more bonus gold when he does cash that out with the additional that you're getting from your plunder. So, FakeGod will be fine. You know, that is one of the things with GP. You scale very well, but Finn should just continue to freeze this, you know, just continue holding this wave, putting GP in an awkward spot, making him wonder, is Broxah up on that top side? Because, you know, they've done actually a good job of controlling vision. You can see up on this top side of the map, there's no wards past that line, really, for Dignitas. So FakeGod has no idea. And anytime Pobelter is missing, anytime he doesn't have eyes on Broxah, you really have to sit back pretty far and play with respect, or you could easily just gift over another kill.
Yes, indeed. Well, minions knocked down under the turret. Bottom lane is 1 CS difference. Phage now done as well with the Xin. So, Neo, that's components of Trinity Force, or am I like really stupid about this and it's still Divine Sunder?
No, it's I believe it is.
Yeah, sorry. My Trinity Force has the attack speed one on it.
Yeah.
I'm so used to like 75 seasons of Phage being in Trinity Force, my brain will not unlearn that build path. Like, that's truly what's keeping me up, is the fact that I've built 700,000 Trinity Forces with a different build path.
Yeah.
And it's been a year.
Tons of damage.
And I just can't, and I just can't unlearn it. So
Tons of damage to your brain.
Tons of damage to my brain,
Yeah.
you know? It's Trinity Force, not even once.
It happens, you know?
Yeah. All right, it's okay. We got this one, and Dignitas are still back in action as well. A small gold deficit, sure, but no dragons taken. Rift Herald, okay, sure, that one is actually on Smoothie, so we can take that one somewhere. But Dignitas looking to play aggressively, right? They're going to knock down the Sentinels. They're going to invade through the jungle. See that blue buff is gone. Neo, I believe, should have gotten the gold on that turret.
He did.
So plus 160 there. And Dignitas, with all the wards they've made sure they've cleared out, with all the vision they know CLG doesn't have, say, okay, we can take first dragon. And honestly, this champs would absolutely love ultimate haste. I think every single one really cares. So not a bad first dragon for Dignitas.
No, not at all. And I mean, they had top scuttle, so they should have had the idea that Broxah was probably taking the Rift Herald. At the very least, when he picks it up, you would actually spot him coming out there. And I always just like these little moves for even like a pretend wraparound if you're not actually planning on going for the full-on dive. You know, Aphromoo just kind of steps behind and says, oh, Turtle, but what if I'm going to dive you here? You know, Turtle has to back up. You lose a couple CS. You guarantee that it is going to be a safe tower plate taken there by Neo. So these little threatening plays on the flanks can definitely pay dividends over on that Dignitas side. Would like to see a little bit more of Yusui and Akaadian grouping up, because it does feel like that is kind of the core components here of the composition.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen them play together whatsoever this game. It does feel like, yes, they've been on the back foot, but if that composition is kind of not really working well, it's tough, because Akaadian hasn't super prioritized farm. You can see he's down, you know, about 3-4 camps to Broxah, but he also hasn't really gotten anything done as far as the ganking is concerned, and that is always a little bit worrisome, I feel, for Xin. It's one of those champions that, like, yes, has more utility than the super old one, because the ultimate kind of gives you that zone of safety, but you still want to be playing with some pace, playing a little bit from ahead.
Sure.
The fact that, you know, he is a bit behind, GP is pretty far behind, is a bit concerning.
Ezreal comes in, tags Turtle and Smoothie for a bit of damage, but not a huge problem. Last CS goes over, and CLG can move out. They hide in the fog. And they decide, all right, are we going to sit in Tribush? Are we helping Broxah's invade? They're helping Broxah's invade. Akaadian seems to know what's going on. He's playing really passively. He's brought Yusui over. They brought Aphromoo over, but this could be a 3v3 erupting pretty soon. Controlwood comes down defensively. It's okay. A recent trinket came down. That means we know absolutely that was Turtle put it down. Not only can you click it and look at the tooltip, but at this point, the support doesn't have a yellow trinket anymore, so you know that's what's going on over there. And you're like, okay, so yes, Kalista brought in her teammate. Okay, we know some information there. Back to safety, no one dies.
Yep, going to be playing that pretty smart. And they pulled over a lot of members also. You know, if there was a hard engage there from CLG, they would have been a pretty decent spot to answer. I'm actually kind of surprised, I've got to say, that Neo actually, based on that timing, though, with the wave pushing towards him.
Yeah.
He had the Sunder, so I think he's just really prioritizing getting the spike. But there's nothing to fight for right now, and it does cost you an entire wave, and maybe even more, because now the wave will bounce back and actually deny some. So he loses the entire cannon wave here.
Yeah.
For just kind of like really prioritizing getting power immediately. But I always think you have to consider, like, what is the power for, right? If there was a dragon, I would have agreed with it. Because there wasn't, I don't.
Yeah, fair enough. Right now, though, a flash kick's going to put FakeGod almost in range. Can Finn get the rest of it? The slow comes in. Second flash to follow. As FakeGod's flash away could not save him. Ulti never pressed. Might have been out of mana. CLG able to chase him down and find that kill. Waves denied under the turret. And a convenient blast plant gets them all to safety as well.
Punishment on the top side continues. The early flash from FakeGod. But Broxah as well as Finn commit their flashes. You know, Warthog kick flash there from Broxah. He has really felt revitalized in summer, because it has been a while of Broxah being pretty heavily criticized, you know, even from his TL time. And then you're looking at spring on CLG. People are saying, you know, what happened to the old Broxah? Was it just his team making him look good? Is this guy didn't really ever have it? You know, was he kind of carried? And there was a lot of negativity around him, and it's been refreshing to see him really bounce back in summer, because I do feel, despite the team actually having a lot of losses, even in a lot of those losses, he looked really good.
Yes.
You notably pointed out the Lee Sin game against C9, where he was having an incredible game. And yes, it was in a loss, but it was still incredibly impressive. The back-to-back Vi wins have been great. And again, here, he's on a really nice start with the Lee Sin.
It's really looking good right now. CLG coming back from a 1-5 start to looking at a 3-0 week as they try to claw their way up the standings. And FakeGod gets to kill a control ward, but he has to hide from the fact that Lissandra was on her way up. He can ulti the wave. K, he gets most of the farm. That's something, but that's got to feel really rough. He's down 24 farm in that top lane. Obviously, 0 and 3 is a rough look. Dragon up in 35, and no GP ult for a dragon fight.
Yeah, I don't even know if you want to fight it, to be honest. It seems pretty rough. I mean, maybe if you can keep Finn up there, but he's down 2 levels. Finn has the 2 kills. He has the 2 turret plates. He is so weak in this 1v1 right now that all he can really do is just try to survive. Obviously, there's been a lot of jungle pressure, but it was the unforced error at level 1 that allowed for some of this jungle pressure. Dignitas is making the move, though, but Finn could TP down. This could be bad.
Ult onto Akaadian. Easy pickup there. A great setup, and now it's time for Aphro to run. Gets dunked into the wall because Finn wants to find an Ezreal. Neo's on his way out. Will live. Second bit of damage comes across. Aphromoo going to drop for the 2-0. Dragon on a silver platter. Well engaged by Pobelter, well followed by the rest of CLG.
Yeah, I just don't get even trying to go for that. I mean, we even talked about it prior to the play happening. You're moving over. A, you're not even grouped up with the Karma. B, Xin doesn't even have his Gore Drinker yet. He just bought it after actually dying. So you're not even on a spike here as Akaadian. And the biggest problem of all is GP's got no ulti, and he's essentially worthless at this point when you're comparing over to Finn, who is ridiculously strong and had the teleport available. GP doesn't even have a way to stop the teleport. So I just think they had no business going for that. And it takes what was, a bot side winning game with a top side going poorly and just kind of explodes it, right? Like now it's just an absolute disaster for them as they lose the dragon, they get killed, they lose the turret. Akaadian trying to walk it out, but there's no escaping as Turtle pulls in the Nautilus, throws him out as he hops over the wall there, and they follow up for additional kills. They even get the flash, they get the tower. We just saw them taking down the Herald in the picture-in-picture as well. So CLG now have everything, and this gold lead is going to be 5K here very, very soon. So Dignitas have really kind of lost their only edge in this game, which was a bit of bot side prio.
All right, Dignitas going to try their best to somehow come back in team fights. You've got a supportive mid who's behind. Okay, whatever, it's supportive. You've still got a 2-0 Ezreal, but the rest of that team isn't really coming together. Finally on 4 Mythics, so they've hit that spike, but maybe a little too late. Engaged by Aphromoo, true shot barrage over the 2 of them as well. Broxah kicks back, followed in by Akaadian. Xin Zhao puts the ulti on. The rest of the squad is in. Broxah running for dear life, but there you go. Yusui gets the flash follow. Dignitas finally get that individual pick, and Aphro almost finds a second. Not quite though, cannot get on the Pobelter. A kill, 450 gold, but nothing more just yet.
Look at Finn. He's actually setting up on the side here. Do they want to try to re-engage for a play? I guess not. And now he's kind of just isolated, so potentially going to get chased down.
Stridebreaker dodges headbutt, pulverize, has the ulti available, going to dunk back to the wall, but doesn't have much more to do. Akaadian nearly drops, but he will survive a second kill. Finn went for the play, did not get it right, and Dignitas have now got 900 gold picked up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get why Finn doesn't back off when his bot lane isn't moving. Initially, I say, oh, he's in the bush, he's waiting behind. When they drop the Herald, the bot lane's going to come over, you're going to look for the play. But bot lane's staying top, and he fishes for a grab there and just gives up a shutdown for free to the person who's the carry, the win condition.
Yep. On this side, though, we had this. We had the tower dive on FakeGod, so the bot lane going top gets 1 back anyway. I agree on the other point, though.
Yeah, and I mean, this reinforces the other point. They're making a successful play elsewhere on the map. You don't need to try to force something. Finn has been having a great game, but those are the ways back into a game. I mean, Dignitas made a good play with double TP. They got a pick, but that was only 1 kill. It's not really that big of a deal. But then giving the follow-up shutdown over to the Ezreal definitely hurts. FakeGod, though, is... I mean, he is just going to be pretty useless this game. We'll see if he can ever get enough time, if his team can buy him enough time to kind of like farm to a stage where he's pretty useful. But, he's at 117 CS at 18 minutes. Like, that's a pretty pitiful pace for Pro, and he has been focused very, very heavily. He wasted his flash at level 1. He didn't survive what he could have by early flashing. He late flashed, he died, and CLG have been relentless at punishing him. You know, they re-ganked knowing he had no flash, they kill him off. Then he's way behind, so they continue to pressure, they zone him off waves. Akaadian not feeling comfortable maybe to actually be there and look for 2v2s, knowing his top laner were behind, so it kind of did snowball a lot. But after these last couple of plays, you know, Dignitas actually closed the gold lead. You have 2 items. The tier is almost fully stacked for Neo. When he hits that point and you have a Karma behind you, hey, you can make something happen. Like, we already have the Shirelias in. The Chemtech Putrefier, I want to say it is, is coming through next. So that's the healing debuffs there. And 2 very powerful items.
They're pretty good. Akaadian gets the ult onto him, pops his own ult to stay alive a bit longer, but they're inside the circle. Another Lissandra ult comes down, and they just jump on him over and over again. Not much you can do about the hard CC. CLG, they're drafting ults that stun people reliably. You click on them, they receive a stun, and they're getting kills out of it, and they're winning games out of it.
Absolutely. Good collapse from CLG, but I just don't think that Akaadian actually had the prio to be able to go for that invade, right? He doesn't have the people behind him. The Karma is not with you. You're not winning on that side of the map. And as a result, it's an easy collapse. They kill him off. I don't even think he got any of the Raptors either, which kind of just adds insult to injury, unfortunately, as he'll give up a freebie. And it's got to be the bottom side of the map, really, for Dignitas. Yusui's doing fine. The bottom lane is doing very well, but jungle top is going to be useless. Yeah.
So let's hone in on the strengths then. Let's focus about this, because yes, there have been a lot of mistakes, right? And this has been the story, right? It has been a kind of a sad run for Dignitas for the last couple of weeks, but we can talk about the things that are going well. Muramana now done. The mana stacked up. We're at 2-item Ezreal. That is the first huge power spike you really care about. We'll see if he wants to go for a Frozen Heart third. We've seen that build before. Can make him really hard to kill. Aphro's a good frontliner, and hey, Dig are here first to the play. They want to claim Dragon number 2. Obviously, Yusui can feel reasonably safe going for the ward kill, and now CLG collapsing. TP coming in from Finn as well on the backside. FakeGod marking. I believe they saw that teleport. You can see FakeGod playing in a spot where you can kind of look for Finn. WildTurtle gets rid of the ward in the pit, though, and the Dragon will reset. And here comes the push-in. Pobelter flashing. E's back. Just barely stays alive. They can't go find the rest of the engage, but that is a good mark by Aphromoo to trade flashes. Ultimately, though, it's not going to matter. CLG dive into the river, and they claim a Dragon. Dignitas went for a kill, couldn't quite find it.
Oh, Finn's still there. Are they going to go for this play? Yeah, they are. You can see CLG moving over.
Jumps in, dunks forwarded, but Akaadian zones him out. Is there really an engage to follow up on the Xin Zhao? No, Pobelter has a self-ult, and Dignitas have separated the team. Zhonya's Hourglass buys a bit more time, but is it enough? The punch comes in. A second pulverize for Aphro. Headbutts back Turtle. 1 for 0, 1 for 1. A second kill now to CLG. Looking for a third, but the shields might keep FakeGod alive. Over the wall comes Broxah. Rended, attacked by Xin Zhao, not dead. Turtle goes in, Anchor's gonna land, and CLG finally get themselves 4 kills to 1.
It's a bloodbath, and they could go even over towards Baron. Are they gonna go for this? No, they're just gonna grab Scuttle and reset. Would seem a little bit hasty there. But despite the fact that Dignitas actually did a really good job controlling space in this fight, this was just a long con here for Finn. He was waiting that whole time after the TP. Surely Dignitas assumed he had actually based, but he dunks him back into the team. This was great, though, from FakeGod, and if he actually did damage, if he was a little bit further ahead, it would matter more. But the ultimate was placed perfectly to control space. Pobelter buys time. You can see the barrel into the backline here as well, catching multiple members, but it just doesn't do enough. And the big issue here is Yusui has separated from Neo, right? You gotta be with your carry there, because Neo was actually really close to surviving. He was at a very low amount of health, but you know, with 1 or 2 shields landing, I think he actually lives. And then maybe Neo can clean up some of these low health bars, but Dignitas got split. Yusui was not with the critical member there of Neo, and CLG finds the punish. Pobelter bought so much time with his self-ulti, and now I believe he has the Zhonyas on top, so you really can buy a tremendous amount of time. If Neo is in the wrong spot, you just ult him and kill him off. He has no QSS unless he just purchased one. I saw no Mikhail's on the way, so that is a concern. But even if he grabs that, then you just swap the self-ulting in every fight and you just push them out with that zone control.
Well, we are on the way to Frozen Heart here for the Ezreal. Nothing else you can build with that cloth armor, so he is going more defensive. I actually kind of like this. The second item for FakeGod is very, very smart. He's going Serpent's Fang for shield breaking. Sett, Lee Sin, Nautilus, Kalista with her shield bow as well. A lot of value there. Stun on Akaadian, but he's going to be able to slink out of that one. And it's just an ulti on cooldown for Pobelter. FakeGod going to almost spot Finn. Now Finn's going to go after him. Titanic Hydra second, so much damage, but does not get the stun follow.
That is a really good side lane build. Scrapping up there. Gives you an incredible amount of push as well with the Stride Breaker active. With the Titanic Hydra passive, you can crush through those waves incredibly fast. And part of the problem here is that Neo is now even not ahead of his counterpart, right? Turtle has kind of quietly been having a very good game. Yes, they did lose in the 2v2, but he is now sitting on 5 kills. He's working towards what is likely a Bloodthirster as that third item, just going for the straight-up lifesteal tanking against this very scrappy composition. And Dignitas' comp is somewhat low damage right now. It wouldn't be maybe in a more standard game, but Xin is behind, GP is behind, Karma is building this supportive style, so if you can just get enough lifesteal here, even if there is a healing debuff, you can heal through what is largely going to be poke. It's not going to be a straight up 100 to 0. It's going to be maybe some barrel poke. It's going to be the GP ulti, things like this. You get hit by a mystic shot, but who cares if you get a couple autos out there and you heal it right back up?
Absolutely. Got to watch for what's going to happen then, because realistically, Dignitas can still get a really good-looking backline in a team fight.
Ooh,
but CLG can just delete people. Akaadian still on the farm, keeping reasonably close. He's only 5 camps down behind Broxah. It's not too bad. But yeah, okay, does go QSS after all. Does move it on, right? So if he's safe, it's going to look good. Can't be the easy target. Now, to be fair, he's almost never been the target of Pobelter. Yeah. So it's almost always found Akaadian instead. And through that lens, like, I don't love it only because, like, he hasn't shown to be the target before anyway. And like, it's only on Lissandra. And you can often just play outside of Lissandra's range. Like, I think you actually just need damage to be able to win. That's the only thing.
It is tough, though, because I can kind of see the idea that it's like, if you get Lissandra ulted, you just lose, right? He's really their only hope right now. So from that point of view, I kind of get it. They want to play these extended fights, but they're looking for a pick. TP flank coming in.
Gangplank ults in. Nautilus ult finds Ezreal, jumps over the wall. He's going to be totally safe now. And as Turtle throws the squad back in, we get the fight yet again. Aphromoo dropped low in the front line. Sett dunks in Yusui, and he's dead. 2 for 0 so far to CLG. Pobelter on the way forward. Neo QSS is away and runs. Blast plan whiffs. He was right onto the wall, and Broxah shuts him down with the Q follow. 16-5 on the scoreboard. CLG with a bloodless team fight.
Yeah, CLG leaving no doubt there. Pobelter had the TP flank. Finn on the wraparound. They have been really good with their positioning in these team fights, finding the angles, buying time. And Pobelter, it was just self-ult into Zonias. You cannot fight past that. And meanwhile, Turtle is just free-firing. He has had so much space bought for him by Finn, by Pobelter. CLG doing a wonderful job. They're going to be able to secure this Baron. And they are looking like they're going to cruise to an easy 3-0 weekend.
Absolutely beautiful. Really, really well done. Whatever they did in practice, the week leading up to this one, they found a new style. The question was, can you do it without Galio Vi? Yes, they can.
Absolutely, and here it is showcased one more time. As soon as Dignitas commits too far forward, the TP is coming in. Look at Finn on his positioning here, down on this bottom side. He's looking for this wraparound angle here. Does get into the back line, goes for the dunk. And meanwhile, Pobelter is still in stasis. That whole time he had been untargetable. He's into the self-ult, he's into the Zonias. He does flash forward and actually get the root on Neo, so the QSS ended up getting some value. Unfortunately for Neo, he was too early on the blast cone, and he's standing basically on top of it, and when you're right on top of it, you kind of just get popped straight up. So ended up not really going anywhere. Does get taken down, and this gold lead feels like there's no chance for Dignitas to really deal with it. There are so many engage options, and that is one of the best things about playing these style of compositions, is that sometimes teams struggle to close out a game. You are not going to find it difficult to close out a game when you're playing this style of composition as CLG. You just dive. You throw in the Nautilus. You look for the Lissandra to dive in. And even if Dignitas back up, then you take the towers while your front line is zoning.
It's looking good. 10,000 gold before 28 minutes. Absolutely massive lead for CLG. Red Bull Baron buff is on, ready to knock down some inhibitor turrets. Ez ult tags a couple of cast minions. No one cares about that one. Akaadian dives in, is stunned, but it's enough to make CLG go back, and Turtle nearly caught out. He's stuck at half health. Akaadian gets right back in, but he just doesn't have the damage. The wallets are too big on CLG. FakeGod now attacked. FakeGod just barely lives as Broxah jumps out, but despite a good-looking engage, the CLG 2-0.
Yeah, and you can see Turtle went towards mid, and he's just going to heal back up instantly. That's one wave. He even gets hit by a barrel, and he goes way up there. FakeGod trying to defend, but they're now pressing on both sides. Yusui there, but you don't have any real way to actually engage or get in on top of Turtle.
Nope, it's going to be bottom inhibitor down, middle inhibitor turret going to drop as well as CLG continues to push. Respawns are coming in. Akaadian up in 5 seconds. Flash for Finn. Gale Force dunk. We're both playing Lee Sin this game. Broxah delivers a kill as Gangplank drops.
Nicely done there from CLG. Double inhib. They will back it up now as they don't have that top lane prepped. But the Baron recalls coming through here. The lead just getting bigger and bigger. Nearly 13,000 gold at this point is a comical advantage. You can see the item completions also coming through. Here it is one more time. They're going in, they're trying to find the fight. Akaadian does dive into that back line. Aphromoo finding some access as well. But there's always someone from CLG between the carries and their carries, right?
Yeah.
This time it's Finn. And you cannot do anything when you're this Ezreal and this really strong Sett is standing in between you and those targets you're trying to get to. He can't walk through them and try to get on the Kalista.
But there's one big thing he missed. He wastes the ult on the wave with Baron on. If you know your team is diving, you have an Alistar, save your ult for the Alistar engage, hit that target. Turtle is dead if Neo had Trigger Flint on his ultimate and did anything more than hitting 3 caster minions. There are mistakes that Dig can easily clean up and his team can look better. It's not just, oh, draw difference, whatever. It's not just Q difference, whatever. There are mistakes these players are capable of fixing in just a conversation's time, and this team looks better. It is sad to see, you know, fairly easy mistakes made, but that is what's happening. CLG still by far being the better team today, and well done to them, looking to close it out now as they're pushing in top lane.
Yep, they are pushing it in. The supers coming in mid, they're coming in bot here. You can see all the item completions coming through on that CLG side. You've got the GA on Broxah, you've got GA on Turtle, and they're looking to finish this one off.
Okay, they pull right back in the support. A Quadra knockup. The kickback does the same. Lissandra over the top, and it's just a bloodbath. CLG getting kill after kill. The sea of red in the kill feed and in Dignitas' base. 3 kills so far, 2 to defend. FakeGod and Akaadian just on the way out as the Vinicius will flood in yet again. Here we go into the mid lane. Time to attack the turrets. FakeGod just sitting in the back, waiting to get barrels back from cooldown to go for a bit more. CLG knocked on the second turret, and in 31 minutes, they will claim the victory, and CLG get the 3-0 week.
Ah, it's sweet bliss for CLG. They look so happy. What a bounce back weekend for them, finding a new style that they want to play, you know, redefining themselves here. Obviously tough times for Dignitas on the other side, but today it's all about CLG. It's all about these dive compositions, and they have been playing.
CLG! 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 CLG!
They've been playing great. Take a bow. Back-to-back Galio games paired with the bye. The question on my mind coming in today was, okay, can you replicate this sort of style? Can you replicate this sort of success?
Yeah.
If that is banned away, and the answer, at least against Dignitas, was a resounding yes.
Yeah.
They bring in the Lissandra. They go towards the Lee Sin jungle. They still play with the Sett top. You have Nautilus plus Kalista for hard engage in the bot side.
Yeah.
And you know, when you think about standard compositions in League of Legends, when you're looking like long term, you know, say the last 5 years, it's generally like, okay, if you want to play standard League of Legends, you draft like 2 forms of engage, right? And CLG is essentially coming into every single one of these games with like 4 forms of engage, right? And that is clearly their game plan. They're saying, all right, we're maybe having trouble playing out the game in some of these other ways. We're going to give ourselves extremely clear win conditions. Yeah. We are going to play with aggression, and we are not going to hesitate. And they have done that, right? It's easy to say, all right, well, yeah, then everyone should do this. You just engage. But you can't hesitate. You've got to pick your moments. You've got to go in at the right times, and CLG have been really good at that. Yeah. And I've also got to give them credit for being able to actually push people down and punish them consistently. Go to where there are openings on the map, right? In this game, it was FakeGod. He messed up in that level 1. That's on him. But Broxah gets the credit for continuously being back up there, punishing the flashless player, returning and zoning him off of multiple ways, and putting him to a point where the GP was just worthless, and Finn is running that side lane the whole game. So CLG really deserving of that credit, and for how aggressive they are playing, and how much it just looks like confidence they're playing with. Early
game, CC, early game ganking jungler, CC champion mid, right? Like, a lot of teams are playing Nocturne, they're playing Akali, they're playing Gwen, stuff like that. And Pobelter's champion pool right now is Galio and Lissandra and probably a bunch of other stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't care if this is the meta. This is winning for CLG. They threw it, including beating 100 Thieves.
This is their meta.
Half of their losses in summer are to CLG. Like, this is CLG saying, here's our comps, here's how we play, and it's working, so props to them. Broxah, player of the game. I think very few people would be surprised about this one. He played the Lee Sin immaculately. His vibe was good. He's doing great. I cannot wait to watch more CLG games, which
Something
the phrase
haven't said in a while.
No one's said in over a year, but I'm happy about it. I'm so happy for CLG, and I can't wait for week 4 for them. Now we're going to head over to the stage and join the Tigress and WildTurtle.